Really quick today, I want to give you a riff on a Scott Adams tip. So, when you are sitting around the Thanksgiving table here in America, and there are family members who just go off about anti Trump this, anti Republicans this, anti conservatives this, that, and the other, anti men, right? Anti happy women. Because generally you see unhappy women are liberal and happy women are conservative. And this is a pretty clear realization you collect from the data available, where the party of happy, fulfilled women and men who grow up, who become mothers and fathers, who have children, that's the Republican Party, and the mentally ill women and the men they demand placate them, that's the Democrats. Now, this particular technique is sort of a counter manipulation technique, which is a little bit manipulative, but it makes people feel uncomfortable. That's the manipulation part. It's not exactly a W, but it invites them to suffer now for a payoff in the future. So perhaps it's not so manipulative. It goes like this. Scott Adams said, when your childless cat lady wine aunt just goes off about Project 2025, that hoax that we've covered on the channel many times, when she just goes off, Scott Adams said, you simply say in return, have you heard the counter argument? Have you heard the counter argument to that? Did you hear the counter argument to that? Do you know the counter to that? Now, it's a question that they probably don't have an answer to. We know that conservatives consume liberal media, but liberals don't also consume conservative media. So liberals exist in a reality-free bubble most of the time. And whenever they encounter a real conservative in the wild, they don't know what to say, they don't know what to do. I'm looking forward to RFK Jr.'s confirmation hearing, where he's before Senator Elizabeth Warren, and Elizabeth Warren accuses him of being an anti-vaxxer. And then Robert Kennedy Jr.'s response is not about the anti-vaccination allegation, but rather his position on testing and seeing how that goes. Because she seems deeply uninformed and unwise, but yet believes that she is informed and wise. And that tends to be what happens when conservatives have conversations with liberals. So the best thing to do is to approach with curiosity rather than sharing facts with them, because the facts that you'll be sharing, they will probably not believe to be true if you just simply start sharing facts. Because again, they live in a reality-free bubble. And so when you're there at the Thanksgiving table and the childless cat lady wine aunt goes off about Project 2025, you say, you have the counter argument to that. The only honest answer, of course, is no. And if they insist, no, there's not a counter argument, what could there be? You simply ask the question again in a different way. Now, what I like about this is that it's curiosity. It's non-aggressive. It's not an assertion. It's not a reality clash. If you want to do pacing and leading, that persuasion technique, you do need to meet them a little bit. Something that Jason Andrews, the hypnotist that is quite well followed and well known on X, the X app, formerly Twitter, he talks about agreeing to the extent that you can. Yeah, there's a lot of people who believe that Project 2025 is real and it's going to hurt a lot of people. A lot of people believe that. So did I agree that it's going to, or did I agree with that? A lot of people think that, like you, childless cat lady, wine aunt. Well, you know what I just did. Have you heard the counter to that? Have you heard the counter argument? Do you think they're aware of the counter argument? The people who are afraid? What counter argument? What are you talking about? And then you can talk about Agenda 47. You can talk about the priorities of the incoming administration regarding the economy and immigration. And if they say, well, it's going to do this for black people and this for gay people and take rights away, like it's always this low IQ, low information opinion, but it appeals to fear. And fear is the number one manipulator. You can get people to do whatever you want en masse if you make them afraid enough. So that's why Republicans have been targeted with this fear-based manipulation, because it works on the low IQ and low informed. Now, what of course is ironic about this is that these people are overeducated. So they're in the Dunning-Kruger effect space where they believe they know what they're talking about, what they don't. They are educated yet not actually informed, because the sort of people they're educated with and among agree with them. And so when you are simply surrounded by people who agree with you, there's no reason to grow. There's no reason to learn. And there's not growing or learning that happens because you're surrounded by people who you agree with, they agree with you. There's no thesis, antithesis, synthesis. process. There's no growth, there's no learning, there's no tension. It's like weightlifting. If you go to the gym and just start picking up stuff that weighs 0 pounds, well, are you going to get stronger? Is your intellect and intelligence going to grow? No, you're going to get flabby and stupid. That's what's going to happen. That's what's happened to the left, because most of them have existed in a, as I said, reality sphere bubble, where only those things, those narratives that agree with their ideology are allowed to pass. So take this tip for what it's worth, and it's worth a lot, and see how much you can agree without actually agreeing. It will probably defuse the situation. It'll probably help you feel better about yourself, and it might make your avowed enemies, if they're even willing to sit with you at all during Thanksgiving or during the holidays, it might create a sense of non-aggression from them towards you and your views. And the best thing you can do is ask questions with curiosity. Oh wow, Project 2025 is gonna make interracial marriage illegal. Wow, you think JD doesn't know that? Wait, why would you say that? Well, JD Vance is married to an Indian American, a brown girl. Oh, what? And then you can break the rain a little bit. Have fun and happy Thanksgiving.